The story begins in 1943 during World War II. An American fighter plane sets out to attack a small Japanese island called Nauru. They arrive there and drop several bombs, causing terrible explosions on the island. But just then, German fighter planes attack them, causing significant damage to their plane. The plane gets holes in it, and the brake system fails. According to the pilot, landing in such a condition was impossible, so everyone started to feel that their death was certain. Even so, the pilot keeps trying. When he attempts to land the plane, its small wheels buckle. The tires burst, and finally, the plane comes to a stop after hitting a large rock. Their luck was so good that even after such a terrible accident, everyone survives safely. Louis does not stop his running practice even after arriving here. He runs with his friends every day. A few days later, he receives news that they have to go out on another mission. This time, they do not have to fight, but go rescue their companions who are stranded in the ocean. They take a new fighter plane, just like before, and set out. But they did not know that this plane was already defective. The result is that right in the middle of the ocean, their plane crashes. This accident was so serious that only 3 people survive, and the rest are all killed. Louis was one of those 3. They begin floating on the ocean using 2 air rafts from the plane. They had only a few pieces of chocolate to eat and very little water to drink, so they decided that they would eat a little chocolate in the morning and at night, and would not drink more than 2 or 3 sips of water per day. Louis says that they do not know how many days it will be before they can get back alive from here, so with this food they will need to survive as long as possible. Among the 3 of them was a boy named Stanley who had sustained a head injury. Because of this, he could not move much. Seeing this, the 3rd boy, whose name was Mac, becomes very worried. Mac says that they will not survive from here because they do not know the location of the people they went to find, and those people do not know their location either, so they will die right here. But Louis says that will never happen. The ones they went looking for will also try to find them. They cannot just sit quietly either. They must keep trying. While talking, night falls. They sit silently on both rafts, and the ocean spreading all around starts making a terrifying sound. In such a situation, no one can sleep. As soon as morning comes, they spot a plane in the sky. They immediately shout and fire bullets into the air from their gun, but it is of no use. The plane cannot see them and moves away. Meanwhile, Louis notices that the chocolate packets are completely empty. He finds out that Mac had eaten all the chocolate. He gets very angry and shouts, asking why he did this. That was not their plan. But Mac does not give any answer. Instead, he thinks that they are going to die anyway, today or tomorrow. So all these efforts are pointless. Hearing this, Louis gets very angry. But showing anger is of no use now, because what was done is done. All 3 lie silently on their raft. Just then, a bird appears that comes and sits right next to their raft. For those 3, it was not just a bird, but a means of survival. They all keep their eyes fixed on the bird, and at the right moment, Louis grabs it. The 3 of them had been hungry for many days, so they eat the bird's meat without cooking it. But the problem is that they cannot digest the raw meat, and they all start vomiting. As a result, instead of their hunger being satisfied, their bodies become even weaker. They try to find another way and decide that they will catch fish. In this attempt, they manage to find and catch fish. But the problem is that they have no way to cook it, so they have to eat the fish raw as well. Every time they look toward the ocean, their fear grows because nothing can be seen in any direction as far as the eye can reach, except the sea. In this way, 18 days pass one by one, and their condition has gotten even worse. The intense heat of the sun has scorched their skin. Even their lips and mouths have cracked open. One night, their troubles multiply further. A terrible storm strikes the ocean, and the ocean waves take on a ferocious form. All 3 start praying to God together. They say only one thing, that God should somehow save them at this moment. The truth is that only when death is right in front of you does a person truly understand the real value of life. As soon as morning comes, everything becomes calm again as before, and they start catching and eating fish again. Meanwhile, they spot another plane in the sky. They fire bullets into the air toward that plane again, and this time, their attempt succeeds. The plane spots them, but their luck was very bad, because it was not a regular plane, but a German fighter plane. The soldiers in the plane start firing at them. Seeing no other option, all 3 jump into the ocean. This saves their lives, but the rafts get holes in them. They immediately climb back up and start sealing the holes with adhesive. But just then, a shark attacks them from the ocean. Mac, despite his illness, fights the shark and knocks it back into the water. A few more days pass, and after a long time without water and food, Mac dies. Louis and Stanley commit Mac's body to the ocean waves. They had been drifting on the ocean for 45 days, but they did not know how many more days they would have to remain there. One day when they were sleeping on the raft, upon waking they saw that a massive ship was before them. The soldiers on the ship were pointing guns at them. In truth, these were German soldiers, and drifting along Louis and Stanley had come into German-held territory. The soldiers capture both of them and interrogate Louis in various ways because they suspected they had seen him somewhere before. In truth, Louis was an Olympic athlete. That is why people recognized him. But due to hunger and thirst, his face had changed so much that they were having difficulty recognizing him. After extensive questioning, they understand that this was the same famous Olympic athlete. Louis asks them about his friends who were trapped here, and a soldier tells him they have been killed. Hearing this, Louis's heart breaks, but being alone, he can do nothing. After this, the soldiers confine them in a dark room. Every day, they would bring them out and torture them. One day, soldiers made them remove their clothes and beat them mercilessly with sticks. This routine continued every day. One day, they were taken to a place where several other American prisoners like them were also present, whom the German soldiers tortured every day. Later, they were sent to Tokyo in separate vehicles. The commander of that new camp was a very cruel person whose name was Watanabe. He first lined up all the prisoners and began looking at them carefully. He noticed that everyone had bowed their heads out of fear. But Louis was the only prisoner who was standing looking him straight in the eyes. Watanabe immediately went to him and told him to look into his eyes again. Louis did so, and just then Watanabe attacked his head hard with a stick. Louis somehow gets up, and the man tells him again to look into his eyes. Louis obeys and looks at him again. So the man attacks him even harder than before and says that he will never look into his eyes, even if he himself tells him to do so. Otherwise, his situation will be made even worse. After this, the officer tells everyone that they will be quarantined first, so that if any of them carry disease, it does not spread through the camp. They are kept in a large hall made of wood, which was extremely filthy. Along with American soldiers, some senior soldiers were also imprisoned there, and all of them completely disliked Mutsuhiro Watanabe. They believed he was probably a spoiled son from some wealthy family who had accidentally ended up in the army. That is why he was taking out all his anger on the prisoners. All the soldiers had also given him a nickname, the Bird. The next morning, everyone is lined up again, and Commander Watanabe pulls out a large list and asks which prisoner among these men had set an Olympic record. At first, Louis stays quiet, but when the officer keeps shouting, he is forced to raise his hand. Because Watanabe was Japanese, seeing this American athlete made his anger flare up even more. He ordered Louis to run in this harsh condition as a punishment. Louis starts running, but after just a few steps, he falls to the ground, which gives the commander yet another opportunity to beat him mercilessly. When night comes, the American soldiers receive news through secret sources that Japan is slowly losing the war. Hearing this, a little happiness rises in their hearts. But that happiness disappears when they find out that if Japan loses, they will kill all the prisoners, and if they win, they will also be killed, meaning in both situations their death is certain. As soon as morning comes, the Japanese soldiers start making them work again, such as making some prisoners clean toilets. One day, while working, an American soldier makes a plan to escape from there. But his luck was so bad that this news reaches the commander, and he beats him very badly. All these events happen before Louis's eyes. Seeing it, he can bear it no longer. He decides he will kill the commander. But his companions convince him that doing so will only increase his problems. They will have to wait until the war ends, no matter how much suffering they have to endure. Hearing this, Louis remembers what his grandfather had said, that the man who learns to endure hardship at the right time, that very hardship changes his life. A few days later, the commander and some Japanese officers tell Louis that news has been printed in America that he is dead, and people have accepted it as true. The commander offers him a deal. He says that if he wants, he can send word through the local radio to his country that he is still alive and in their captivity. But the condition is that on the radio, he will say only what they write for him. Louis agrees to his terms, and the Japanese soldiers take him to the local radio station. There, Louis sends a message through radio to his countrymen and tells his family that he is alive but living there as a prisoner. In truth, these words were not written in his script, but even so, he speaks this truth. This makes the officer very displeased. The next time, the officer gives him a new script which contains bad things written against America. The officer tells him that if he reads this script on the radio, he will be freed from this prison camp and will be able to live well in freedom. But Louis does not want to do this. He does not want to defame his country for his own freedom. So he clearly refuses and says he is willing to stay in the prison camp. After this, Louis is sent back to the camp. This time, the camp commander is furious at him. The commander had noticed one thing, that no matter how much punishment he gave Louis, it had no effect on him. meaning there was a special spirit inside him that the commander did not like at all. On top of that, Louis had chosen to stay back in the camp instead of taking freedom, which meant he loved his country very much. Seeing all of this, the commander's anger goes through the roof. He first ties both of Louis's hands with rope and orders every prisoner in the camp to punch Louis in the face one by one. The condition is that the punch must be hard, and if they do not do so, he will have them all killed. Initially, the prisoners do not want to raise their hands against Louis, because of which the commander beats Louis's friend Stanley very badly until blood starts flowing from his nose and mouth. Seeing this, Louis can bear it no longer. He himself requests the prisoners to obey the commander's order and punch him because he cannot watch any more violence being done to his friend. Now, following orders, every prisoner attacks him and punches him. There were so many prisoners there that after a point, Louis falls to the ground. The commander makes him stand up again, and the remaining prisoners continue to strike him. After everything passes, a few more days go by, and one day good news reaches the prisoners. The commander has been promoted, which results in him being sent to a different camp. Everyone is very happy because he was the very commander who inflicted the most suffering on them. But amidst all of this, Louis finds all of this very suspicious, and as evening approaches, his suspicion turns into reality. Suddenly, large bombs start falling on their camp. In truth, the commander had known all of this in advance, which is why he had already left from there beforehand so that he would not die along with the prisoners. The entire camp is destroyed in the bomb blasts. As soon as morning comes, the remaining prisoners are taken to another camp. This camp was located in a place whose location no one knew, meaning American soldiers had no information about the location of this camp. In the camp, there was a coal mine, and the prisoners were put to work removing coal from the mine. When Louis arrives there, he sees that the commander of this camp is none other than Watanabe himself, seeing whom his legs start trembling. The commander comes to him and asks why he is not looking into his eyes. Louis gives no answer and stands quietly. Even so, the commander attacks his face hard with a stick. After this, everyone is put to work. Their work was very difficult because they had to load coal from the mine onto their backs and dump it in a boat, and they had to do this the entire day. They were given nothing to eat either, because of which most prisoners had come close to death. One day, while working, Louis can carry no more coal and goes and stands in a corner to rest. The commander spots him. He grabs him by the collar and drags him to an open space and orders him to lift a very large and heavy wooden beam that was lying there on his shoulders. The weight of that piece of wood was so great that the moment Louis lifts it, he sinks to the ground. But the commander's order was that he had to lift it no matter how much suffering it caused. After this, the commander orders him to hold that beam with his arms raised above his head. Louis agrees to this too, and enduring the pain, raises it above his head. The commander does not stop there, but orders one of his associates that if Louis drops the piece of wood on the ground, shoot him. Louis had not eaten for many days, and his body had become so weak that he could not even stand properly with the beam. His legs had started to tremble, and due to weakness, his eyes were closing on their own, meaning he was on the verge of losing consciousness. The prisoners working far away stop their work, seeing Louis's pitiable condition. They all keep their eyes fixed on Louis and pray silently that Louis does not drop the piece of wood on the ground, because doing so would mean certain death for him. Meanwhile, Louis can no longer hold that heavy piece of wood and slowly starts lowering it. But just then, he suddenly looks at the commander. He shouts loudly and then raises that heavy piece of wood above his head with all his strength. Despite his weakened body, there was a terrible fury in his eyes, and with that same furious gaze, he keeps staring fixedly at the commander. The commander shouts, "Do not look at me," but Louis keeps staring at him without averting his gaze. The commander warns him again, "Do not look into my eyes, look down." But Louis does not obey. In such a situation, the commander runs toward him and starts beating him mercilessly with a stick. Even so, Louis does not change his attitude. He is still looking into the commander's eyes. In truth, he had sworn that even if he dies, he will not change his decision. The commander beats him until he himself grows tired and tears come from his eyes. Meanwhile, Louis starts remembering his brother's last words, that the man who learns to endure hardship at the right time, that very hardship changes his entire life. Today, he had conquered that hardship and endured it. As a result, the commander admits defeat. He had understood that no matter how much he beat him, he would never get from Louis what he wanted. Defeated, he walks away from there. A few days later, an officer tells them that the war has ended, so they can stop their work and go to the nearby river and freshen up. Hearing this, the prisoners cannot believe it. Nervously, they start moving toward the river. Just then, a plane passes over their heads. On looking carefully, they find that it was an American plane, which meant clearly that the war had truly ended and the Japanese army had been defeated. Everyone jubilates with joy, and even in their weakened bodies a new energy courses through. After this, through the plane, a large amount of food is dropped below for the American soldiers stranded there. Everyone shares and eats that food together. Finally, Louis goes to the room where Commander Watanabe used to live. He wanted to see who the person was who had inflicted so much suffering on him and what his true face was. There he finds a photograph in which Commander Watanabe was standing with his father as a child. Other than this, he finds nothing else in that room. The commander had gone somewhere far away from that day onward, and no one knew his whereabouts. After this, all the American soldiers were given clean clothes and were taken back to their country where they were welcomed with honor. These were the very people who had staked their lives for the country and had reached a point where a person gives up hope of living. But they had not given up and came back. After this, in 1946, Louis married the woman of his choice, Cynthia Applewhite. Later, a small family was formed and they had a daughter and a son whose names were Sissy and Luke. On the other side, Commander Watanabe kept himself in hiding for many years. He remained hidden until peace was made between America and Japan, and he was forgiven. After this, Louis also fulfilled the promise he had made to God. In truth, during that terrifying storm in the middle of the ocean, he had prayed to God that if God saved him from that storm, he would serve him his whole life. He kept that promise too. From this difficult journey, he learned a very great lesson. Forgiving is very necessary in order to move forward. That day he had prayed and God had forgiven him. That is why he is alive today. Not only that, the anger he had toward the commander he also erased from his heart. He met several Japanese officials, but regrettably the commander never met him and kept himself hidden. Finally, Louis also fulfilled the dream he had seen in 1936, the dream of running in the Olympics. Even though he completed it at the age of 80, he made his dream come true. In the year 2014, Louis passed away, and with this, the story comes to an end. And that's the end of the movie. Hope you enjoyed the recap. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a hype comment, and tell me which movie I should recap next. Don't forget to subscribe to Midnight Recaps and press the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.